What's up? I'm back, guys. Welcome back. Yeah. Once again, we are doing another stream. I hope you guys have had a good week. I certainly have. In fact, I have actually been drawing a little bit again, but not specifically because I wanted to learn how to draw, because I have mentioned that a lot through the past, and I do want to learn how to draw, by the way. But the reason why I've started drawing is actually because, well, for those who followed me in the past or watched my VODS streams, to be more specific, I have a friend called Frapsia, and her birthday is coming up. There's still a lot of time before she actually has her birthday, which is like in August. But the reason why I'm already drawing now is because I want to finish it so that I can continue on my other projects. And I actually decided, I have this like rule, like this thing where I kind of promised her that I will be willing to give her presents until the time where she becomes an adult. Because yes, she's not an adult. Which is also why my VODS streams is actually, well, they are, what do you call it, kids friendly, or what you would say. But basically, me and her have been talking a lot about like drawing OCs. Like, we both like drawing, but the thing is, she's actually learning and improving, and actually she could just draw whatever without actually knowing what she is doing. Like, she can draw stuff and it still looks somewhat good and have an idea of what she's doing. I still can't do that. I don't know how to draw, so I'm practicing, or not really practicing, I'm just drawing what I think looks good. And even though, this is the funny part actually, even though that I don't know how to draw, I can still make drawings look pretty good. One example is, like, if you look at my back screen out here, I drew this drawing right here behind myself. Let me just I drew this all myself. However, how I drew this was not easy. I'm telling you, it was not easy to draw this. Like, it took me 9 days to draw this shit because I did not know. The reason why it took so long is not because of the lightning, it's not because of the coloring, it's because of the line. Because here's the thing, I have a bad habit when I draw, which, by the way, you should never in your life do what I'm about to say that I do every single time when I draw. Although I didn't do it this time, I actually stopped doing it, so I'm finally getting back on track. But basically, to put it in a nutshell, when you draw drawings, you do not want to draw just the line art already. You need to make a sketch first, obviously. But me, my stupid ass 2 brain cells pocket thing inside my head, decided that, you know what? Nah, I'm only gonna draw the line art. I'm not gonna draw any sketches. So you might be like, well, you can still look decent, okay? You might like look at the thing back behind me. That's not like line art. That's what's supposedly a drawing that I drew with a sketch. What in the frick is going on here? I think we just leave, yeah, okay. Ignore that. Yeah, so basically, the drawing itself you see behind me is literally just lines. Like, I didn't make a sketch for this. I just took a line. I didn't take a line. I just drew it, just lines. And the problem is, even though this looks good, if I could actually zoom in, which I can right now because it's a wallpaper, it's not actually an image right now. But basically, the problem is when you color it without actually having the lines be vector lines. I know it's going to be technical right now. I know I'm going a little bit technical, but basically when you draw, there are 2 types of the layers in every art program. It does not matter if you use Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, or whatever drawing program you use. There are 2 types of layers. There's raster layers, which is literally just where you draw the lines as is. There's nothing special about it, just draw. And then there's vector lines. Vector lines are lines that you can manipulate after you already drew them. So let's say you make a box, okay? Say you make a box like a cube, and then you're like, well, the cube isn't really that straight. You can then take or hover your mouse or your pen or whatever over the line, and then you can move it without it like, well, you can actually move it, because like in a raster layer you can move it, it's just a line, you cannot do anything about it. And the reason why you should always draw in vector lines after you've done a sketch is, one, when you try and put colors on it, you're not gonna have the issue, which is gonna be the one issue you're gonna have in every art program if you do not draw with vector lines, on a vector layer that is when you color things in, you're gonna have a bunch of spots where they're just white dots all over the place. So like in the corners, like if you look at my hair, in every sharp corner or place right here, there would be a bunch of white dots. Why? Well, because selecting lines on the raster layer is just a pain in the ass. I know I went off a little bit now on like drawing, but basically I'm working on 3 drawings right now for my friend Propsia, because her birthday is coming up in like a few months or so. And my point is, even if you don't know how to draw, you can still make a drawing like this and make it look as good as this. Because first of all, I'd like to mention, I don't know how lightning works on characters. I do not know anything about drawing. All I know is I can look at a picture and then I can freehand draw it besides the picture. Not tracing, but like have the picture stay beside me, and then I can look at the side and then draw on an empty page and make it somewhat look pretty good. That's what I can do. So basically copying or using references right beside an empty sheet of paper, which is always the best way of practicing actually. But the problem is, I don't know how lighting works. So in this image, I don't know where the light is coming from. I'm just drawing random lines that makes it look like light is shining upon me, but I don't actually know where the light source is. Well, the light source is supposed to be this like ball thing, yeah, but I don't actually know where it's coming from. Just totally random. Same with the background. I made the background look like slightly dark in the edges, but again, that's the only thing where I kind of had an idea what the light is, because you're getting the idea of like the light bulb or the ball thing is lighting up the room. So it kind of makes sense, but I didn't know what I was doing. Now you might be, well, how did you draw the clothes then if you don't know how to draw? Because again, I also don't know how to draw clothes. I know nothing of that. Well, what I basically did, and hear me out, because this is technically cheating, but also kind of technically also not cheating. What I'm saying is, what I do is I pick maybe 5 to 10 different pictures of like clothes or hoodies and whatever, and then I position, let's say I have 5 different hoodies, drawings or images of hoodies, and then I position it randomly on top of each other to where it kind of looks like it could look like a real hoodie. And then I trace over half of them, and then I maybe move around some of the pictures. And if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to guess half of the work, like half of where the hoodie is actually supposed to be. So that's what I do with all clothes, by the way. I don't trace them. I like trace half of the drawings and like move around and try and guess what would a hoodie actually look like. I don't know how it actually looks. So that's what I do typically when I draw. The only hairstyle I can draw is my own. I don't know how to draw hair too. Well, that's that, and then there's my friend Frobsiak, which also is my, well, technically, for a little bit of context, Frobsiak, the character you have seen multiple times on my streams, is technically, well, it isn't technically, it is my OC, as in my original character. I just made it so that my friend Frobsiak has the right to use it, because it's a character that's inside my manga. So I made a character to her so she can be in my manga universe, basically. But that's a lot of explanation. But basically, I'm drawing like 3 different drawings, and one of them is Frobsia, one is of her OC, which is not mine, but another one, and then one where both her and my OC is together. And though you might not be able to see the drawing right now, I will showcase it, probably not on the day, because the day where it, well, I will post it on Twitter, of course, but I would also like to showcase it on stream on Twitch when it comes. However, the day before her birthday is the day I stream, so it's not gonna be in that month. It's probably just gonna be by the end of August or something, either that or the next month. But yeah, I'm kind of working on drawings right now, so that's that. Another thing also, like another fun thing, like speaking of other people, one very fun and interesting thing that I don't know why. So to give a little bit of a perspective here, I have sometimes had a few tendencies to talk about other VTubers because I like talking about people that I like watching, which I think is, well, we can all agree on is fairly normal for most, if not all people. We all have one person or a character or a show or game or whatever we like to talk about. And I have a few VTubers that I like watching. Now, here's the thing. I have only mentioned this VTuber 2 or 3 times through the whole of my life where I have streamed or made videos. So I don't talk about this VTuber at all. Like, it's very rare for me to just actually mention VTubers anyways. Like, I mentioned, probably out of all the VTubers I mentioned, I probably talked about different other VTubers than myself about maybe 10, 11, 12 times through my life. However, this VTuber that I'm about to talk about now has only been mentioned 2 or 3 times in the span of all my streams. And somehow this makes absolutely no sense, and I don't know what YouTube is thinking. But basically, on my YouTube channel, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's this like this application or web browser extension that most people use if they make YouTube videos called vidIQ, and it's basically the best extension you can ever get. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, or like they don't tell me to say this or anything, and I don't know personally, but most people know vidIQ for being a YouTube channel that helps other YouTubers, VTubers, content creators, whatever, you name it, to be better at doing what they're doing. And if you know what you're doing and how to use the tool, it is incredibly powerful. However, here's where I'm a little bit confused. Because for some reason, when you go into the vidIQ extension, which has their whole they have their whole own like dashboard and like their own website that is connected to your YouTube channel, and vidIQ can then scan and find tags that are related to your YouTube channel. And here's where it gets weird. I apparently have a hashtag that is very popular and comes up a lot when people try and search for my channel, and that hashtag is Trickywi. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not Trickywi. So why the hell is vidIQ saying that one of the best tags that I can use is Trickywi the VTuber? What? I am not Tricky, bro. What the fuck is what the fuck? Like, none of my videos have any, not even the slightest resemblance of Trickywi. Like, what? There's like one YouTube video I have on my channel. One YouTube video that I have where I do the same kind of screechy noises that she does. However, I have done that for a long ass time, even before I knew who Trickywi was. In fact, I have Tourette's, so I was born to be able to I was born to do this. I was born to be able to make sounds. I'm not even kidding you, I have Tourette's. When you have Tourette's, for those who don't know what Tourette's is basically, it's like how do you explain? It's like imagine that you have a bunch of neural connections in your brain, and they somehow don't really work the same as any other people, and then those misconnections in your brain can make you do tics or make sounds or say certain phrases or words out randomly. However, there is a lot of variety of the different types of things or the different types of Tourette's one can have. One example would be me. In my younger days, I actually said words, but I didn't really say like, well, I typically actually said sounds. I didn't say words. I only had like one word that I said all the time. Other than that, I made sounds. I didn't say words. The only word that I said back in the day was good. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, the one word that I for some reason kept on saying, no matter what, non-stop, the one word that I kept saying because of my Tourette's was good. So just like good, like to everything. Can you imagine being around? So by the way, do you hate me? Good. What, bro? This world sucks. Good. How is your day, bro? But like, you seem very irritated. Good. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous and funny. But basically, yeah. When I was younger, I tend to do that. Now I don't. Also, another fact about people who have Tourette's: the older you get, the more your Tourette's minimizes or like diminishes. So basically, the older you get, the more the higher chance you have of genuinely actually growing. It sounds weird, but growing out of having Tourette's. So basically, at some point, if you already in the beginning have a very mild version of Tourette's, which I do have. I have a very mild version of Tourette's. I typically mostly do tics, which you can only kind of see when I like move my head up and down like this. That's like the only time where you can kind of see, because what I typically do is I roll my eyes around a lot, or like my head rotates a lot, or like I like my throat tenses up a lot. That sounds very weird and sus, but that's kind of what I do. So basically, I was born to do sounds, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Maybe afterwards, okay? After I want to challenge Trickywi at this, because you know what? I might as well just do that. I want to challenge her at this, okay? So basically, what I want to do is, when we're done playing this game, because I do believe that the game we will be playing today, we are actually very, very close at ending it. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna take more than a little bit over an hour, maybe 1.5 hours. After that, I want to do reactions, because I haven't done reactions in a very long time. I actually don't do them that often, and I actually also do plan on making it so that in I don't know if we're gonna do, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing it tomorrow or next Sunday. But I do plan on making a post on Twitter and maybe YouTube too, where I kind of want you guys to suggest what type of videos that I should react to, and then I will react to it next time. Not next time I stream, but like, if you notice, the thing you might notice here is, in my stream schedule, I have a list of games that I play, and I will play one game through until that game is done. So when that game is done, I will then do something else if there's more time left. So basically, my point is, in streams like this, like today, where I know that I'm gonna be fast, very fast done with the stream, or not the stream, but the game that I'm playing, the time that I will have left afterwards, I want to use for the reactions that people request me to watch, kind of like that. So basically, that's what I want it to be, like a backup thing, because I do know that there's gonna be some times where if I end the game on one stream, there's always gonna be more time. So basically, that's my point. But yeah, keep that. Look on my Twitter or my YouTube for that when that comes up. Maybe, I don't know. It might also be a bad idea. Who knows? Because reaction content is kind of a gray area. Like, what is okay, what is not okay to watch. I do plan on also, however, if I do end up making it, source out to the actual people, like ask them for permission, or if I can't do that, just at least like shout out or link them under my videos and whatnot. I would like to mention, I am not a reaction channel. Like, I don't really normally do that. But however, as you might have noticed, I really like to talk a lot, and I also do like to talk about things. but it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to talk about many different things when you don't really have anything to like pick up on. Because I do know that I could do a little bit more research, but it is very difficult for me to have time for that while also working on the things that I'm working on for the future for this channel and stuff, which is also the reason why I'm only streaming once a week again. But basically, to get back on my point, I'm going to be reacting to some stuff after we played the game or finished the game. However, as I didn't really finish explaining before, I want to see if I can beat Trickywi's screech challenge, or like how long she can screech. Because dude, I was born to this. I have Tourette's. I was born to be able to make sounds. Could you, like, I'm telling you, okay? If I remember correctly, her score is being able to screech for like 1 minute and 11 seconds, almost 12 seconds, I think it is. I'm gonna have to try and beat that. I have a feeling that I will be able to do exactly just that, because I am used to doing that. However, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but I do think I will be able to. So we're gonna be doing that later on the stream. I want to try and see if I can beat her squeaky challenge, or screech challenge as I typically call it. And you know what, I might as well just like post it afterwards on YouTube, because for some reason, again, YouTube thinks that the tag that is the hashtag that's the most used for me, or perfect for me, even though I'm not Trickywi, is hashtag Trickywi. So, and I don't know, I'm pretty much not even close to looking anything like her. So I don't know why YouTube got that idea, but I guess having a VHS highlight of me screeching kind of like Trickywi while running after my friend Frobsia is enough for YouTube to think that I might have something to do with Trickywi, even though I don't. Like, I don't know what my YouTube is doing. Like, before I know it, that's probably like, as I mentioned last stream also, I talked about how like I like using AI for fun sometimes. Like, I don't use AI on stream, or I'm not gonna make YouTube videos or anything about it, but in my free time I have fun with like fooling around with AI tools, specifically AI voices, or the AI like Stable Diffusion, where you can like make the AI make drawings out of specifically few text prompts. And further on, back to like the AI voices. So the AI voices, again, I downloaded a bunch of different AI voices, and apparently out of all of them, there was only one VTuber that I could actually get close to sounding like without having to change anything other than the way I speak. So basically, normally when you even if you use an AI voice and it's very well trained, normally you both have to change the pitch in your own voice and in the program to come even close to sounding perfect with the AI voice. However, the VTuber Center, I apparently can come very close to sounding like her if I use her AI voice and just speak the way she speaks. So I don't have to change the pitch, don't have to change anything, just the way she speaks. That's the only way I need to speak, which is very terrifying, but also again kind of funny, because one of the VTubers I do watch a lot, or the most rather, is, well, one of them is Sender. I have a lot that I watch him a lot, but basically I think it's very funny that he just so happens to be able to do that, because for some reason, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm very terrible at like speaking the way that other people speak, because again, I am me, I am not them, and I do not want to be them. I want to be my own person, which is why like I'm trying to do stuff on my own. I'm also gonna be doing stuff way more differently in the long future, which is why you're not gonna see me do things that normally VTubers would do. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, I have mentioned, or as I've mentioned a lot before, I like animating, 3D modeling, just creating stuff in general. However, my channel is nothing, it has nothing to do about any of those specific topics. And the problem is, when you want to grow an audience and you want to work on multiple things, it is difficult to find time to do one specific thing, which for me is VTubing. But I also want to do other stuff. So here's what I mean by I'm doing things differently. I have this passion of really always wanted to just make 3D animations of stories that I want to tell, like short stories, or mostly, to be more accurate, I want to make animated music videos, but using songs that I have bought licenses to, and then I want to tell a different story that can have the same kind of vibe or feeling as the music, but like different. But it's a totally different story being told compared to the normal story that was being told in the song in the first place. I'm sorry if it's a little bit complicated, but basically I want to make cool animated music videos to songs that I bought licenses to. And many of them, if not many of them, all of them, the animated music videos are gonna include VTuber models that I've made, including myself. And I'm working on making like a very big, like this is a long thing, like in progress, bear in mind. So it's a very long thing. It's not gonna like be anything you're gonna be seeing this year or next year. It's probably gonna take a total of 5 years or 4. I don't know. It depends on how fast I am. I mean, I haven't got speed, but I'm still one person, so it's still gonna be very difficult. But basically, I'm building a whole ass universe with a bunch of things, and I also do want to emphasize that the VTubers are gonna be separate. And every time and any time I include any VTuber in any of my animations, it is and will always be separate. None of the VTubers that you see pop up in the future animations that I will be showcasing in the future has anything to do with me. They're not canon, they're not part of my VTuber lore. It is separate, and it's solely just that I have a passion for wanting to make funny and wholesome and cringy, whatever you name it, animations of all this. Which is why also you're not gonna see it on my channel. You're gonna see it on my separate channel called the Zekai Multiverse, where I'm British. Well, when I upload all my animations typically on that channel, because it's separate. And then I still have my main channel, which is gonna be gaming focused. However, I mentioned last time that if I am lucky, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, but I don't know, there might be a miracle somehow, I don't know, where I might be able to post the showcase, the epic showcase of my newest and latest and last model that I'll be making of myself. Because I'm gonna be making a model showcase animation where I showcase basically everything about myself in terms of like my abilities, the ways I look, and the clothes that I wear. That's basically what my animation thing is going to be, but it's going to be in showcase where I am fighting things. So it's going to be very cool and epic, and no one has made this. I'm going to guarantee you this. This showcase of my model that will be coming out when it does come out is going to be so unique and interesting in a way that no one else has done it yet. And I can guarantee you already now that no one has done it. No VTuber in existence, as from right now, have made the type of VTuber model showcase that I will be doing when this comes out. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna be the first one. Because one, you don't even know how it's gonna be. And second, no one is willing to put that much effort into showcasing a model except me. So that's why I'm going to be the first person when this comes out. So it's gonna be very unique. And also, there are gonna be 2 other VTubers in that animation. But as I said before, every time I feature a VTuber that I either don't know or just another VTuber in general, they're not part of my lore. It is simply animations made for fun. But you should not take seriously, it's just for fun. So that's why I'm gonna be having it be like that. Also, there are gonna be very few animations that will be on my main channel, but most of them will be on, well, the Zekai Multiverse thing, because that's the point. Another thing also to mention, because like I noticed that there's been a little bit of a kind of way for me to actually figure out what people want to watch on my YouTube channel. Because don't get me wrong, I do know kinda what people want to watch, but I don't want to make that type of content yet. And that is VHS content. Because again, I want to actually have better stuff, money to buy the stuff that I need, all these things. And I do know that people like watching my VHS content. But also just chatting seems to be something people like, and basically what I've noticed that I've stick to is what people like watching. So just chatting via chat, playing survival and horror games. That's typically also what I mostly play, so it makes sense. But I have a lot of things planned for VA chat specifically, because VA chat is gonna be the main focus in the future, because that is the one type of thing I want to do. Like it is gonna be kind of like that. And I do plan on having a podcast and other types of like funny things. One thing I also noticed apparently popping up a lot in terms of hashtags or the kind of videos that's in the same traffic as my videos on YouTube are videos about Phantom Sense in VHS. So I might try and make a Phantom Sense video in the future about VHS, which is going to be very difficult because I don't have Phantom Sense, and I can't feel anything. I can't even get close. Like, I've never gotten it. I have a friend, Robsia, she has it, so maybe somehow in the future I will be able to make a whole video about it. Because I do wanna explore more of the things of like VHS and like the VHS technology or the aspects of it. I do like it. It's probably like the best platform. It's probably the closest we have actually to like the metaverse. Because anyone is like, if I'm gonna be honest, you can say all you want about Facebook's metaverse or Chillhop VR or Neos VR, Resonant VR, Rec Room, all of these places. It does not matter. The only VHS platform that matters is VHS. Why? Because VHS is literally the only one of the social platforms that comes even slightly close to being as free of a platform as it can possibly get. One aspect is the characters. What other social platforms has the ease of access of being able to port models in to VHS as easy as VHS? You don't have anyone. Like, the second most easy to put models into, as in like avatars or avies, are the other social platforms like Resonate and Chillhop VR. And I'm telling you, those places are not easy to import characters into. They are a pain in the ass, in fact, because I've tried it and I can't make it to work. VHS is way easier. Not only can you have infinite amount of VHS avatars that are very different, you don't have you're not limited to specific style, you also have an incredible amount of worlds that you can go into that are also not limited to a specific style, like metaverse or rec room or all those things. Also, even though VHS is sadly a place where sadly a lot of underage people are, which, if you ask me, underage people should not be on VHS. If it were up to me, I would have it so that only people who are 18 and over should be allowed on VHS. But we all know it does not matter if it's a VHS, if it's a website, if it's another social platform or a game. It does not matter. Every single person on this planet will find a way to lie about their age, sadly, and ruin the ability for the companies to try and minimize the chance of that happening. As in, have it so that small kids don't go into places they shouldn't be in. One example would also be Twitch. Twitch is an adult website. It was never supposed to be a website that kids should have access to. It was never. Twitch is and will always be an adult website. Basta. That's it. There's nothing more to it. That's how it is, okay? I don't care what anyone says. That is how it is, and that's how it always have been. The only reason why kids end up coming into the website is because they're clever enough to lie about their age. Which I sometimes, I really wish there was an easy way to just make a guarantee of not having any kids pop on all these platforms. It would be so nice and so much easier if you could actually limit it. Like, one of the reasons also that I don't really play via chat a lot, but I still want to, but it's just hard for me to get any form of like urge or willingness to play it at all, is because, well, 90% of the time when you go into VIA chat, you're always surrounded by small teenagers or kids. And I don't know if you know, but I'm not a teenager or kid. I am an adult. I'm 24 years old. I don't want to talk to small kids or teenagers. I want to talk to people in my own age range. And that's just incredibly difficult to do in VIA chat. Which is why it's hard for me to want to go in and talk to anyone in VIA chat. And then hence I just end up only playing in a private world, and then maybe sometimes talk to Frobsia, and then that's it. It's not really that fun for me if I can't even go in and just talk to people and not having them be like small, like 14, 15, 16 years old. Like bro, I am almost a quarter way through my life, and I have no friends in my age range. Only one, which is someone that I'm friends with in real life and not on the internet. In fact, I only have two friends. I have Frobsia, and then I have my IRL friend, and that's it. And Frobsia is not even, like, again, she's not even an adult yet. So I'm just like, I'm waiting to find an opportunity to find another social platform like VIA chat where I actually have a higher chance of meeting adults, instead of having to go onto a platform where it's always just like small kids, and it's just so fucking, sorry for the language, but it's just so annoying that you can't even go into like a random public lobby and then just talk to people, and then you can actually relate to them because they're the same age range as you, which they're not. I just really wish there was a way, a really easy way to be guaranteed to cut them out, and there is. The problem is though, if companies start implementing the thing that I'm about to say, we are going to lose people who want to play the game or go into the application. And the thing you would have to do is to prove you actually have a card of identification of your actual age and stuff. I know there's been, I think Roblox actually did this on, I don't know if it was Roblox, but Rec Room or something. And they somehow, I don't know why they removed it, but I thought that was a genius idea. Like, sure, the bad thing is that now the company has the full access to your, well, ID identification and whatnot. And even, again, I would like to say this, every time a company says, we're not going to use your private information, we're going to delete the image afterwards, definitely, they are lying, okay? Stop thinking that they genuinely actually do that. They don't. You are really stupid if you actually think that every time you post a picture, even on Discord, you can search it up right now. Try and search for a picture and a text that is related to the latest picture you posted on Discord. I can guarantee you will be able to find it on Google search images. How do I know this? Because I literally did it myself. I posted a picture and an image on a Discord server. I then went into Google and then I searched the exact same thing, went into images, and you know what? I found the images. And you know what's even more crazy about it? I haven't posted these images on the internet. No. I posted these images on the Discord application, not even on the website. This is the same thing. As I said before, it does not matter what you post. If you think just because you download an application instead of using the web browser version of an application, but you're safe, you're not. No matter what you think, the website or the internet as a whole will have a backup of whatever it is that you post on the internet, even if you deleted it. Facebook have a lot of images that you might have deleted still saved in the backup somewhere. And I guarantee you, how do I know this? Because it's been proven again and again and again and again. It is not a coincidence. This is why I'm saying that if you're fine with them using it, then yeah, I guess we're not gonna have any problems in terms of like getting kids into the not making. Let me just change what I said. If you're fine with the companies having some kind of information about you that they probably shouldn't have, yes, you might risk not having any privacy or for privacy way at all, but at least you wouldn't have kids going into places they shouldn't go into. That's what I'm proving. Because at that point, what is the kid gonna do, huh? It doesn't have any notification. How is it gonna prove? In fact, you know what would be genius actually. You know how you could actually fix this without them needing any identification. All they need to do is to make sure that the only way you can play a game where you have to be over 18 plus or 18 is if you can prove that you have a credit card. Not a credit debit card or debit credit card, whatever you call it. No, a credit card. Wanna know why? Because it is only people who are 18 and above who can get a credit card. Like a MasterCard credit card. It is only people over 18 or 18 that can get that card, because that's the minimum requirement for you to actually get it. A debit credit card, however, you can get while you're not 18. So all they need to do is to ask to have you pay, to have you test in or type in your credit card information. It could, of course, that's still like, again, that's still a way of like getting yourself screwed over if you don't trust the place or if you don't know if the place is safe or not. But all I'm saying is, at least in VRChat, all they need to do is make it so that if you want to prove that you're 18 or above, you have to at least once type in your credit card information, and then after 24 hours you can then delete it, and then they can save that transaction, not transact because you didn't buy anything, but they can save that registration number to then be able to prove that you are actually 18. Heck, I actually thought of another way you can make sure that people in VRChat who are under 18 cannot get in, or at least minimize it. However, this other method that I'm about to explain is gonna not make it easy, and in fact might actually, there's a lot of loopholes in this, and it might actually not work at all. But basically, here's the thing. Think about the age of the normal person who like, what is the age of a guy or a child or whatever the first time we start playing games on Steam? I would say it is probably around 5 to 6 years old at earliest, okay? So if we think about it like this, basically what I'm saying is, if you can expect somewhat the age of the normal person, the normal kid, to be around 5 to 6 years old the very first time they create an account on Steam, that means, hear me out, that means all you have to do is make it so that if your account is not old enough on VRChat, or rather if your account is not old enough on Steam, you can't play VRChat. So basically, if your Steam account is, your Steam account should be about, if I'm correct about this, it should be about 12 years old. If your Steam account is 12 years old, you are never going to have any kids pop into VRChat. Why? Because, again, as I said before, if we know that the general age of a kid, which is very realistically about 5 to 6 years old, that's the age of where they start creating the Steam account, that means that 12 years longer into the future, they're gonna be at least 18. Meaning that if VRChat could just get the access to be able to know how old your Steam account is, and then be able to use that as verification, that way, not only can you minimize how many kids are actually in VRChat, you can completely remove them. Because that's even if somehow you are not 18, you would at worst be a minimum of 17 years old, which is gonna be rare. So yes, I do know that it might suck for a lot of people, because there are gonna be a lot of people who do not have a Steam account that is that old. However, the sooner you implement this feature, the faster it's not gonna be a problem. What I mean is, if you implement this system now, that means that in about, I don't know, 5 to 10 years from now, pretty much every person who uses VRChat as much as they do today will be able to play VRChat and only talk to adults moving forward into the future. And all the kids who are not 18 will not be able to go in there. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it is a very genius idea, and I don't know why no one have done this yet. Because if you think about it, you don't even need to know anything about, like, you don't even need to know their credit card information, you don't even need to know their identification. All you need to know is how old is their Steam account, and use that as verification for when they log in with their Steam account in VRChat, to then make it so that when they try and log into VRChat, if their account is not at least 12 years old, they're not allowed to go in. And it doesn't have to be 12 years if you still want to make it like, if you don't want to completely remove all the kids, but just like still minimize a lot, you just have to make the account 10 years old, because then at worst the person is still only gonna be, which is still bad, I do get this, I know it's still bad, but at least only 15 to 16 years old. So you're still gonna at least remove the kids from the place, and then you're only gonna have like teenagers who are close to being the age of 18. So you can still make it that if you don't want it to be 12 years old accounts, you can still have it be 10. And I do know it's a lot, but all I'm saying is that sounds like the only way you can actually be guaranteed to know how old they are. Now, you might come with this argument then. Well, Anrex, if it really was so easy, what about the VRChat accounts? Same thing. Like, literally, same thing. Just make it so that VRChat can see if you log in with a VRChat account and not a Steam account. Make sure the VRChat can actually see how old is their account, and then make it so that by that time, like when that comes on, they are verified. And you know what? Another way you could actually do this is, even if they don't restrict access to the other VRChat players. Again, I do know that this is a bad thing right now, but if you think about it, in the long future, it isn't really gonna hurt VRChat as a whole. Because I can guarantee you, if VRChat was a place where there was mostly adults, it would still be as popular as today. However, it would still take a loss in the beginning. Why? Because a lot of kids and teenagers played, of course. What I mean though is, even if you can't restrict VRChat players who are not 18 years old or older, what you could do instead then, if you don't want to use the system I said, is you can just take the same method. So like, have it so that there's a display thing on VRChat that tells how old their account is. So if their account is saying that they are 10 years or 12 years old, that means that there's a high chance that they're 18 years old. And if they don't have that icon, then you can almost 100% be guaranteed to just like block the person or hide them. That way, you're not going to be talking to any kids. See, now that's also a solution you could put in. Because that way, you know 100%, you don't even have to have a bio, anything. You just know that, again, the general age for most people, especially kids, when they play games, whether it be VR or not, is normally about 5 to 6 years old. That's where they start playing a lot of games. Some might argue 4 years old, but still, let's say 5 to 6 years old. If you still implement the same system, but instead of restricting access, just make it so that there's an icon that pops up saying how old your account is, people will then know that if it says 10, there's a 50% chance that that person is an adult. If it says 12 years old, there's almost a 99% chance that that person is an adult. Just like, again, as I said before, if you start at the age of 5 to 6 years and you plus 10 years older, or not 10, if you plus 12 years more, then they're 18. Or at least worst case, 17. So that way you can really minimize it. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely really want VRChat to, I know VRChat is not gonna see this, and I'm a little bit sad about it, but I really want VRChat to, even if they can't implement this feature, use it maybe to make another feature similar to it. Because it would help so much, and there would be so many more people who are older or adults like me who would be willing to actually play the game and be more on there if we could actually talk to people our own age. Because right now, the only way for people who are adults to talk to anyone who are around our age is to go into the very old worlds where it does not have Quest support. So basically worlds where you need to have a PCV headset, and even then there's still a high chance that you're gonna meet a lot of kids. So the only way to find adults is to play in VRChat worlds where it's only PCV players that can come in. But the problem is that's still desktop. So again, you could also argue, well, desktop players which are kids could still come in, and yes, that is true, which is why I offered the other system that I said before. Make a recognition system recognizing how old your account is, because again, at that point they know it's not going to be a problem. Even if 12 years might be a little bit drastic, at least have 10 years, at least 10. It would be so much more nice. No kids, anything. It would help a lot. Even if it wouldn't completely remove them, it would minimize so much. It would be so much better. Please, VRChat, I know you're not going to see this, but please, VRChat, can we get a recognition system that recognizes all Steam accounts that are used to log into VRChat, that if they're not 10, if their Steam account is not 10 years older or 12 years older, or 10 years old or 12 years old, that they can't play VRChat. Or even if you can't do that, just put an icon, make it so that there's an icon that says how old the account is. It doesn't have to be only 10 or 12 years old. But if you can have an account, or not, if you had no account, if you can have a little slight like icon or feature with a number that represents the age of your account, as in how old it is, it would just make so much more sense and help so much more, because that way people can lie about their age, because the only way to lie is if they know how to hack. And if we get that far, well, your company is already screwed as is then, if they can manage to hack into that system. So all I'm saying is, please VRChat, all I want is a little indicator over their name tag, or beside the name tag, saying how old their account is. Not their age, but how old their VRChat account is, or how old their Steam account is that they use to log into VRChat. Again, that way you would be able to know whether or not that person is a kid or not. You'll be able to separate stuff way easier. You will not be able to minimize it in the sense that there are always gonna be kids who sadly use avatars who are way more adult and not safe for work, which they shouldn't use. It should never be a thing they do, but sadly they do. And again, because people can lie, it's never gonna be a problem you can fix. However, you can fix the problem of people interacting with each other who are not the same or in the same age range, rather, just by putting that thing on and then make a YouTube video explaining that now you'll be able to see how old their account is. And if their account says that it's 10 years old or 12 years old, then if it's 10 years old, there's a 50% chance they are an adult and they're not an adult. But if they're 12 years old, there's a very high chance that they are an adult. And then problem solved. You can also make it, it's also gonna help a lot in terms of reporting people. Because then you can know, when it's way easier to like determine if something is okay or not. Because again, many people can lie about their age, something that girls typically do a lot. It doesn't have to be specifically in VChat, but girls are very good at lying about their age because they are typically way more what's the word? Now I'm not saying every girl lies. I'm just saying that girls are proven, in fact this has been studied in science, girls' brains are typically being developed at an earlier age than men are. That's not to say that all men are stupid or all girls are geniuses. All I'm saying is they are way faster at acting or being an adult in most cases. Which is why I'm saying that, again, it's easier for them to lie. That's actually a very dumb thing to say. That's not enough evidence to prove my point. But basically, I'm just saying everyone can lie about their age. Put the goddamn feature in. Please, we need that feature. It would fix so many problems in terms of drama in VChat, and it would be so easy to cut things out that you don't want. But I'm gonna cut this off now, and we're actually gonna play. So today we'll be finishing the game called Chillhop. I don't know how to pronounce it, if I'm gonna be honest. And again, I don't really fully remember understanding what it's about. I do know that there's an accident